That's right, listen up. This is Strong Honor, where we talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling and Ring of Honor. My name is Tommy Stryker. Joe has joined us.
Whoop, whoop.
Taco is here.
What up?
And we got a lot to talk about this week. We got the big New Beginning show coming up on the 10th, so just a couple of days away here, coming up on Saturday. So we got to talk about that. We got to talk about the last two Road to New Beginning shows that just happened on the 5th and 6th, rather, coming to you live from Korakuen Hall in New Japan. We'll talk about the goings-on that happened on those shows, as well as Ring of Honor TV this week, and Ring of Honor revealing the news of Honor Club coming out very, very soon. Coming out...
Take my goddamn money!
Well, let's get right into it with that Honor Club thing, shall we?
Hell yeah.
So here's the deal. It's $10 a month, $9.99 a month to get into the Honor Club. Now, that includes house shows, back catalog, all that stuff, but not the current pay-per-views.
I think you get a discount on those.
You get the pay-per-views for half off. Or if you go for the annual option, which is basically the same price, $120 for
up front.
For the annual option. Yes, up front, then you get all the pay-per-views. But yeah, it's essentially the same price. So there's a bit of griping amongst some fans out there, understandably, because it's hard. It's not always easy to come up with $120 to fork over right away. So, for me, it's not going to be that much of an issue. But I kind of wish they would have kind of gone all in with it. Pardon the pun there, because it would. I think for a lot of fans, it would be easier just to pay the monthly $10 or whatever and get all of it. But I kind of understand where Ring of Honor's coming from with this too, because their pay-per-view business has been pretty good lately, and it has been picking up over the last couple of years too, with people buying their pay-per-views more and more. So they kind of want to protect that and allow people to not only keep the option of buying the pay-per-views individually, but protect that business and to rope people in for the full amount right away, so they don't get people coming and going. I'll pay $10 this month to get the pay-per-view, but then I'm not going to pay the rest of the time.
It's the best move because, obviously that $9.99 is the sweet spot. I mean, obviously, Netflix is $12 a month now, whatever, but just overall, any streaming platform, it's generally $9.99, $9.99.
Is Netflix really $12?
I think $11.99 now or something.
Yeah, I think it's just over $10.
But it's just, the $10 is that sweet range. So I really think them doing the pay the $120 up front, or pay the $120 up front and get all the pay-per-views and get everything is a better model, because I almost want to do that so I can subscribe to something else. Like, I don't want another $10 bill, a $10 bill, a $10 bill, so I'm spending $60 a month
all
on
of a sudden,
streaming services, when it's like, fuck, when it's like, no, that's one less bill I really have to, not worry about. Just, here's your money. I don't have to worry about you for the year, and I get so much Ring of Honor content.
Until next year rolls around, and it's like, I got to pay my $120 again.
And again, though,
right.
It's just like, anyone
you
really
can plan for it.
Anyone really watching the Ring of Honor pay-per-views are fucking, going deep with wrestling as it is anyways.
That's
it's not
true.
really a casual viewer, and my 8-year-old nephew is really not going to watch Ring of Honor TV and, unless I show him, and then he might be curious. But parents aren't really going to have to worry about dropping $100 for Ring of Honor programming when they don't know what the fuck it is, essentially.
Sure. And, again, if someone becomes curious, instead of forking over $100, they can just buy the individual pay-per-view for like $35 on the Fight TV app, which is how I've been watching them for the past year or so.
And you got to be,
couple of years now,
and they're going to be running deals out there, Black Friday weekend deals.
Sure.
And so just be smart. It's just like any, thing out there. But yeah, no, I fucking love that so much.
All right, well, I'm excited for it. Hopefully they got that thing rolled out in time for the 16th anniversary show coming up on March 9th. So, yeah, just a little over a month away from the next Ring of Honor pay-per-view. But we do have a couple of Ring of Honor shows coming up in New Japan at the end of the month. Let me see. I don't have that right in front of me now. I had it in front of me, switched to something else, and now it's not in front of me. But Honor Rising on the 23rd and 24th from New Japan, those also from Korakuen Hall. So you can look for those on New Japan World. And that'll be the first time Don Callis will be commentating on Ring of Honor talent. So it's very interesting with the Don Callis situation, him being part of the Impact brand now, possibly moving to commentary at some point with Jeremy Borash being out of the picture there, with him moving to WWE.
Yep.
It's heavily rumored that it could be Don Callis and Kevin Kelly going to Impact, which would be really interesting.
Amazing.
So we'll get into. Well, maybe we won't get into Impact on any form. We'll see. If we may or may not get into Impact this week on Best Pro Wrestling Podcast, but certainly not here on a Ring of Honor and New Japan podcast. But
no,
no,
we'll bring it up on Best Pro.
Okay. I felt bad doing it last week, like dirty.
We gonna get dirty again this week.
All right, so let's talk these New Beginning shows that happened the 5th and 6th. Fun, easily digestible shows, wouldn't you say, Taco?
Yeah, it was just run-of-the-mill matches, nothing that really sticks out, but a fun show, good fun day one to get you hyped for that title.
Yeah.
The title matches.
And really, the big matches, the big kind of story of this show coming up, this New Beginning show on the 10th, is Los Ingobernables versus Chaos. And so that's the big number one and number
Chaos
two.
Chaos has all the championships.
Right, they have everything except for the tag titles, and I don't think they have the never open weight 6-man titles, but everything else, Chaos.
But essentially, everyone has gold on them at the moment, or mostly.
Right. So night one, a bunch of young lions in the opening match. Ren Narita, Tetsuhiro Yagi, and Shota Umino versus Jushin Thunder Liger, Tiger Mask, and Ryusuke Taguchi. Great fire and energy from Red Shoes' kid Umino on the hot tag. Got a couple close near falls in the match, but it was Taguchi getting the win with the Dodon. I'm just getting a kick out of seeing the young lions develop and progress going throughout their going in these opening matches and throughout the night. We got Hiku Leo, who's that's Tonga Leo's or Leo Tonga's new name, Hiku Leo.
Man, they're gonna have a whole army there, aren't they?
Well, it's the same guy. It's just he's got a new name. This one was given to him by his father. Haku. So Hiku Leo, teaming up with his regular tag team partner Yujiro Takahashi, took on Manabu Nakanishi and Tomoyuki Oka. Anytime Tomoyuki Oka, the young lion, teams up with Manabu Nakanishi, it's like the young version versus the old version. Although Oka has really slimmed up over the last couple of months compared to what he used to be since he debuted. Oka does hit a big suplex on Hiku Leo, who's the much bigger man. Oka and Nakanishi do the signature lariat spot, which I love. And Nakanishi does this deal where he raises his arm up in the air and goes ho, and just starts swinging his arm and stomping his leg. And him and Oka got to do that move together in unison, which I thought was a fun little spot for the young lion and Nakanishi. But Hikuleo and Yujiro got the win in that match, of course, beating the young lion. Hiroyoshi Tenzan then took on Katsuya Kitamura in his best of 7 series. Tenzan, of course, got the win with the Anaconda device, but Kitamura showed good fire and looked good as usual. Hit his hard-hitting chops and all of that, and that's pretty much the story there. Not much to talk about in that match with Tenzan, the old vet, in there. Not a great match, but it was fun to see. Kitamura. Then Sho and Yo teamed up with their mentor Rocky Romero, took on Taichi El Desperado and Taka Michinoku. Sho and Yo and Romero got the win here. It was actually it was the Roppongi 3K got the win over Taka Michinoku. They're getting ready. Sho and Yo are going to be taking on I believe it's Taichi, and let me get the match line up here so I don't screw it up here. We got the New Beginning in Osaka. They're going to be taking on 2 of the Suzuki Gun guys. El Desperado and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. So in this match, they get the win over Taka Michinoku, who's not going to be in the match. But of course, Suzuki Gun wants this to be for the junior heavyweight titles.
They have every right for it.
Nothing announced so far. But that's one of Rocky's big gripes is you have no right to challenge for these tag titles. You haven't won anything. You're cheating all the time. You're Suzuki Gun. So that came into play, or that's Rocky's big gripe there, that the Suzuki Gun does not deserve a title shot. We'll see if it happens coming up on the 10th here. But Show's back is all taped up in the match, still selling that injury from the previous matches with the Young Bucks and everything. All the Suzuki Gun skullduggery, of course, taking place in the match, but the babyfaces get the win. Then Juice Robinson teamed up with Toa Henare versus Tomohiro Ishii and Toru Yano. This time, Ishii got the win over Henare with the brainbuster, but it wasn't before a bunch of shenanigans from Toru Yano.
Every match, Toru Yano takes off the damn turnbuckle pad. I'm not saying disqualify him, but we got 17 young boys sitting around the ring with their thumbs in their ass. I'm just saying, tie it back on. Tie the fucking turnbuckle pad back on, because I'm sick and tired of Toru Yano's bullshit.
So, Juice feeling the pain of all of us internet fans with kind of the people that are tired of the Toru Yano skullduggery.
I loved how pissed he was, just tying it back on in the corner at the end of the match too, like, just fucking just die.
But I also like how Juice now has his sights set on the New Japan Cup starting next month. That starts on the 9th as well, same day as the 16th anniversary pay-per-view for Ring of Honor. So big single elimination tournament winner gets to choose what title he goes for, and Juice kind of has his sights not only on the Cup, but on that U.S. title.
So that's what I'm fighting for every night, a chance to be in there, you know? You get in there, you win 4 matches, next thing you know, you're challenging somebody for a championship. That U.S. championship. Something about that U.S. championship. Fought my ass off against Kenny Omega. He beat me. Then Jay White beat him. I can't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it. How did Jay White beat the best wrestler in the world besides Kazuchika Okada? How did he do that? I'll tell you what, he went to the dark side, didn't he? He wasn't the young little Kiwi kid with a little bitty mohawk and the pretty blue eyes that he wore. Oh, he was a switchblade. He went dark. Is that what Juice Robinson has to do? Does Juice Robinson have to go dark to get things done around here? Let me answer that for you. No, I ain't ever going dark.
So Juice playing the typical baby face that we all know and love there. But I like how he's setting his sights on the next big thing, putting it out there that he's interested in the United States Championship. A lot of people have Juice kind of picked as a dark horse in the New Japan Cup.
We need him to win it. Fucking 2 non-Americans have the United States Championship in New Japan. Bring that baby home, Juice.
Well, the good news is that even if Juice Robinson doesn't win the actual New Japan Cup, certainly he could look good in a tournament match, perhaps win a tournament match against somebody like a Switchblade or like a Kenny Omega, get an upset victory, and then go on to challenge for that United States Championship, even if he doesn't win he could win a first-round match against a Jay White, non-title match, of course, and then even though he doesn't win the tournament, he could go on to challenge Jay White for that U.S. title down the road. So I like some foreshadowing there. We're already peeping some things to come here. So
he's just such an interesting character because he just looks so just odd. Like that his tat or that little bear he has as a logo is so weird. I don't know if
it's like a little tattoo that he has on his ass.
Yeah, it's a big old juicy booty too.
Oh yeah.
But he's just so odd. But he comes across so awesome in New Japan, and they fucked up with him so bad at NXT down there. And so it's just so awesome seeing him where he's at out there and actually doing something.
Togi Makabe is all over Minoru Suzuki. He wants a shot at that Intercontinental title. He teamed up with Michael Elgin and Kushida on night 1, on the 5th, against Suzuki, Iizuka, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. Makabe got the win with the King Kong knee drop over Kanemaru. Suzuki and Makabe, nice strike exchange in the middle of the match. Then after he challenges Suzuki for that Intercontinental title. Suzuki's just, he wants nothing to do with, he's calling him a bastard again, and just being standoff. In the press, or the post-match press conference, Suzuki's like, bring him in here. Put him on his knees. Make him beg me for it. So Suzuki's swagger is just unmatched by anybody in New Japan. And so,
while we're on Suzuki, the fucking 2-day festival for Suzuki for his 30th anniversary of him or whatever. Or 50th, maybe? I fucking don't know what it was.
Well, 50th might be a bit of a stretch. Maybe his birthday.
They're having a big 2-day festival for him, and I want to be there so bad.
Interesting. Okay. Jay White versus David Finlay, big singles match, a special singles match as they called it here. Of course, Jay White had a 8-match winning streak versus Jay White, and that continued here. Of course, Jay White got the win with the Blade Runner. I like Jay White coming out here. He showed some swagger, some confidence, looked good in the match, a good match. Finlay counters the Blade Runner early in the match by spitting in his face. Jay White gets a chair at one point. Finlay counters, throws the chair out of the ring. He refuses to use the chair, so that shows that he has honor as a fighter or whatever. But White then attacks Finlay after he wins the match, hits him with those. He gets him in that crucifix and just hits the elbows to the face. That's kind of been his thing. He either gets a referee stoppage with the elbows to the face, or he attacks the guy afterwards after hitting the Blade Runner and just hits those massive elbows to the side of the face. So just showing that dastardliness of Jay White. But I like that spot.
I'm glad he's just showing some personality, because again, the few spots he put on great matches, but like his personality, he had to build into that Switchblade character. It seems to be working well for him.
Well, it's still such a fresh character too, so it's just he's sharpening his craft, no pun intended, with the Switchblade character. And I love those little details of him, using like those the technician moves of a crucifix, and here's my elbow. That's real fighting stuff there, and
right.
It's just maniacal shit. So it's just,
and I think that was kind of the intention behind the quote Switchblade thing, because they wanted him to be the razor sharp, strong style guy, and so him just being ruthless and
I
aggressive.
Get your joke now, Taco.
him just being aggressive, like you said, like that fighting style and elbows to the face, and just being super aggressive, I think plays into that character, and he's adding these wrinkles to the character more and more as he goes along, and so I like that. We're taking the journey with him. So even though it's it still doesn't feel the push feels like it's, what am I trying to say here? Where are my words? He doesn't feel up to the push at this point, if that makes sense. I feel like the push is still a little bit premature, but I like the development that I'm seeing coming out of him. Anyway, I'm not too complaining about it, although I didn't want to see Kenny lose that United States Championship, but I like the story that they're telling with Kenny and the Golden Lovers, with Kota Ibushi, and the whole thing going on with the Bullet Club anyway. So it's not like there's nothing going on.
Well, I totally dig it, because just like that Juice promo, like he just pointed out, like he beat Kenny Omega. How the fuck did he do that? So it's just like, I need to beat the guy that beat Kenny Omega now. Like that's that's just boosted him up so much, and got that belt out of that drama.
Well, and thinking about it too, just going back to that Juice promo, so much going on there. Juice putting Kenny over as the best wrestler in the world behind Kazuchika Okada, and that puts Jay White over because he, quote unquote, beat the best wrestler in the world, or the second best wrestler in the world, at least in Juice's eyes. So,
and I totally like that Juice has his eyes set on it too, and I like that Finlay too. Even after he got his ass whooped, he was still like, "I'm still coming for you." Like he wants to prove himself. Like, why is he doing better than I am?
Now that's positivity. At least somebody likes David Finlay promos, because I just can't get into it.
No, I didn't say I like them.
All right.
I just like the fact that like even though after this loss he still wants to chase him, because they both came from that Young Lion, both side by side, wearing the same track outfits and everything.
You like the content, not the delivery.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. I agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, he's still, he's still young. Like, it's amazing that Jay White is where he is. Like, that they're a perfect comparison. Like, they're from the same class and everything, and Jay White's here, and you're still opening with other young lions, dude. Like, what the fuck's going on? We need to see a drive out of you.
All right, then the main event from the show from the 5th was the 10-man elimination tag match. So if you like the Survivor Series matches, this is right up your alley. Chaos versus Los Ingobernables de Japón. This was actually a pretty fun match. Hiromu and Ospreay, they eliminate each other because Hiromu does his sunset dive to the floor trying to attempt that sunset bomb. So he eliminates himself, and then he sunset bombs Ospreay to the floor and eliminates Ospreay that way. So he eliminates himself and Ospreay, and that was after a good 10 minutes of the match. There was a lot of hot action early in the match. Naito hangs on by his toes, but then gets eliminated by Yoshihashi in the match. A really cool spot where he's just hanging. He's hanging outside of the ring, like with his butt on the apron, and he's just dangling there, and his toes are hooked on the bottom rope. So a really cool spot there. Gedo gets DQ'd for removing Bushi's mask, and then Yoshihashi eliminates Bushi. Okada eliminates Sanada after a backdrop on the apron. Then Evil eliminates Okada. Then Evil eliminates Goto, and then it comes down to Yoshihashi and Evil, and then Evil gets the win with the everything is evil.
Everything.
Yes, indeed. Everything! And after Naito gets a cheap shot on Yoshihashi. This has been a very interesting build here between Yoshihashi and Naito. Naito is not taking Yoshihashi seriously. He doesn't. Yoshihashi goes after him, tries to beat him up. The young lions and everybody pulls him back. Naito doesn't give a fuck. He lays down in the center of the ring, arms and legs spread, like, come on, motherfucker. Ha ha ha. I don't care. And then he goes at the back and cuts a promo on the guy talking about, you should really go to Mexico. That's where you belong. You should go on excursion again. You should just get the hell out because you need something. You're not very good, and you just talking all this shit about Yoshihashi.
That's great.
So yeah, good stuff from Naito there. A lot of other fun stuff going on in that match. We'll kind of get into more of what's going on between Chaos and LIJ as we kind of run through night 2 here from the New Beginning. This is from the 6th, also from Korakuen Hall. Same, a very similar opening match with Shota Umino, Ren Narita, and Tetsuhiro Yagi. This time taking on Tiger Mask, Jushin Thunder Liger, and Kushida. Kushida got the win with the cross armbar. Again, a lot of the same stuff here with good fire from Umino. Narita gets a modified sharpshooter and then a Boston Crab on Kushida before eating the loss. So a couple of nice submissions there from Narita in the match. After the match, Tetsuhiro Yagi's lip got split open by Tiger Mask kicking him in the face, which was a nice little deal there. So I like that the Young Lions show this kind of aggression early in the match. They're getting in Jushin Thunder Liger and Tiger Mask's face, and we want to fight now. And then after the match, after they lose, they're still fired up and still want to fight, and Tiger Mask has to kick him in the face and bloody his mouth out. Calm down. And so I like that little that fire coming from them Young Lions. Tenzan and Oka teamed up this time versus Yujiro and Hikuleo. This time Yujiro got the win with the DDT over Oka. Oka got a nice spine buster to Hikuleo in the match, and he's doing this judo throw arm drag that I really like too from Oka. So just a couple of little things there I'm liking from Oka there. Then it was Manabu Nakanishi versus Katsuya Kitamura. I didn't give a fuck about Katsuya Kitamura taking on Hiroyoshi Tenzan from the first night, but I don't give a fuck. Anytime Nakanishi is out there, I get a kick. I actually really liked his tag match from the first night where he's just standing in the middle of the ring. Everybody's running around him. He's knocking motherfuckers down. Same thing here. Him and Kitamura are just running into each other, testing each other's strength. He's hitting them clotheslines, them lariats, knocking the shit out of Kitamura. I don't care. I get a kick out of Nakanishi, even though the motherfucker can't move. Whenever he gets whipped across the ring, it takes him a year to get there. It's just he's old and he's stiff and he can't move, but the
Undertaker makes it to the ring before he makes it to the corner.
Exactly. But I don't know what I just get a kick out of watching that guy wrestle. He got the win with the torture rack. It was just it's almost comical watching Katsuya Kitamura, this big jacked up dude dude just tap out to this torture
Instantly
rack.
tap out, too.
Instantly, yes. And then backstage, he's like, "Oh, I'll live to fight on it." He's crawling around on the floor. He's like, "Oh, I will fight hard. I will move. I will live to fight another day. Thank you very much. I wanted to be impressive, but it just wasn't enough." But that was actually more the promo that he cut for Tenzan, because like Tenzan was the guy when he first broke in as a young lion. He was carrying Tenzan's bags, and Tenzan was like his big mentor. But yeah, Sho and Yo teamed up with Rocky Romero again, and this time they took on Taka Michinoku, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and El Desperado again. This time Rocky Romero got the win over Taka Michinoku with a backslide after a bunch of shenanigans and skullduggery from Suzuki Gun.
It did remind me of a night one of Kevin Kelly and Rocky Romero going at it on commentary, and then he's like, "Well, maybe I'll come back for night 2." And he's like, "You should." He's like, God, I just don't know. It was just so.
That's right, because Kevin Kelly was doing English commentary on his own, no Don Callis, and so Rocky Romero would come out and join him after his match. So that was a nice touch.
I might
there.
think about it.
And then he gets the win, night 2, which was a nice touch there. So yeah, again, he's Rocky Romero just continues talking about how the Suzuki Gun guys don't deserve a title shot.
Yeah, they do.
Sho is still selling the back. They work on Yo's leg in the match. Kanemaru and Desperado attack the back and the leg during the finish and after the match. So maybe Sho and Yo will look to get a little revenge come the 10th. Then Juice Robinson, David Finlay, and Toa Henare took on Ishii, Yano, and Jay White. More complaining from Jay White on the Ishii side of things because it was them that got the win again. Henare and Ishii go back and forth with some hard chops. Like, Henare just really wanted to fucking fight Ishii, which was a very interesting matchup. So maybe we'll get something one-on-one between those two at some point down the road. David Finlay got the hot tag on Jay White late in the match and ran around and looked crazy and got some nice offense in. White got the win over Henare with the switchblade, and then again with he did the crucifix elbows to the head, and then got the ref stoppage. So it wasn't the pinfall win; it was a ref stoppage with the elbows to the head out of the.
And then he kept elbowing after the stoppage.
That's right. Almost got that victory turned around.
Oh boy.
So, then Makabe and Elgin and Taguchi teamed up against Suzuki, Iizuka, and Taichi. And I'll say this much about this Suzuki and Makabe thing. Makabe hasn't really done anything of significance for the last couple of years. So I like Makabe stepping up into this IC title picture, and
Sure.
I'm looking forward to seeing this Suzuki and Makabe matchup here. Just because it's been a long time since we've seen Makabe in a big time singles match. I think it was probably Ishii for the Never title like a couple of years ago since we've seen Makabe in a big spot. So I'm looking forward to a big spot Makabe match versus another old ass man. So,
but just two people beating the shit out of each other.
Say, two guys being afraid to go at it. So
it's even better when Suzuki has someone that can take some damage, and Makabe can take some damage.
Sky 2 Makabe.
Then semi-main event, Hiromu, Takahashi, Bushi, and Naito teamed up versus Ospreay, Gedo, and Yoshihashi. Hot tag to Ospreay in this one. Spectacular exchanges between Hiromu and Ospreay. Hiromu and Naito get involved after that hot tag with some three-way action there. That was really good.
Ooh, yeah.
This Hiromu and Ospreay match is really going to be fucking spectacular. Yoshihashi got the win in this match with Karma over Bushi, so nothing big over Naito or anything like that. After Gedo steals Bushi's mask again, building up to the match between Bushi and Gedo, coming up on the 10th here as well.
It'll be like a mask versus bandana match.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. He's gonna steal Gato's bandana, and he'll finally be able to see, and then he'll really whoop Bushi's ass, apparently. But Ospreay had some interesting comments on Hiromu after the match.
You know the difference between me and Hiromu is that you act like you've got nothing to lose. I have nothing to lose. I will sacrifice my body, my heart, my soul to make sure this title stays on my shoulder. This comes back with me, because after I'm done with Osaka, I go to New Zealand. I am going to find me the nearest Nando's. I am going to get me a double chicken, peri, medium chicken breast. I'm going to get some peri fries. I'm going to get some creamy mash. I'm going to get bottom string, maybe some avocado, and I'm going to celebrate how much English people do with Portuguese food.
He's looking for a win there so he can celebrate with Portuguese food, as the English people do. Now, this led to a very, very funny and interesting contract signing on njpwworld.com. If you haven't seen this, it's for free. It's up there. It's the very first one, so you don't even have to look for it. Hiromu brings the gift of fried chicken for Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay would have preferred grilled, but he'll accept the fried chicken, and he very much likes the fried chicken. It's very good. He compliments him on the fried chicken. This thing is so ridiculous. Because the whole idea going into this, the 10th, is chaos versus Los Ingobernables, and they've been at each other's throats. But Will Ospreay and Hiromu have had their history on Twitter, calling each other cat. Well, Hiromu calling him a cat and all of that. But Hiromu, with a very friendly gesture here, bringing him the chicken. It was really funny because there's like the one of the higher ups of New Japan, one of the office guys, is sitting in the middle at this press conference table or whatever, and so he's sitting there being this 100% straight man, and Hiromu shows up with this fried chicken. He sets a piece in front of the straight man in the middle, another in front of Ospreay, and Ospreay, he's enjoying the chicken. Every so often, Ospreay or Hiromu kind of slightly slide the straight man's chicken towards him, but he's no, I'm straight. No chicken for me. No, so this
I'm on the clock.
just this back and forth, and then every once in a while, Hiromu just goes crazy and shouts some stuff, and so it's just insane and funny, and yeah. So
it's the perfect match.
They're playing very friendly here, but then Hiromu acts crazy, and then after Will leaves, this one wasn't translated, so I didn't get to see any subtitles. So I don't know if Hiromu poisoned the chicken because. At one point, Ospreay says, "Yeah, the chicken's good. I'm going to go give some to Okada after this." And so, and they pose for a photo op after the thing where Hiromu is feeding the chicken to Ospreay, and then at first they start posing for the photo op, but then it's not good enough. They're not right in front of the New Japan logo, so they got to move over so that they're centered in front of the logo, and so they pose over there, and it's so interesting and funny.
I kind of want I know it just popped in my head, but like a Hiromu and a Dean Ambrose, just throw them in a room and who's fucking crazier? Just go at it.
Yeah, that would be very interesting. All right, so finally, the main event from the 6th was the big IWGP Tag Championship match. Okada and Hiroki Goto taking on Sonata and Evil for the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championships. Good match. A lot of what you would expect. Nice exchanges between Sonata and Okada, as well as Evil and Goto. Evil does get the win over Goto in the match, so Evil gets the pinfall over the current Never Openweight champion, who he'll be challenging for. Coming up here on the 10th.
See, I kept going back and forth on this, because Goto doesn't have the strongest history, and he just went to that fucking war with Suzuki and got that championship, and he's already taken a pinfall. So it's kind of about it, but at the same time, it's it's just Goto. But it's just I don't know, that kind of halted him a little bit for me. He just got this big win off Suzuki to get that championship off of him after he had it for how fucking long. And it was the tag champs, but God, I don't know, just this tag match was just kind of odd to me.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, like you said, with Goto taking the pinfall here, does he get that win back in the big match on the 10th, retaining the Never title, or does Evil get it and become a double champion with the tag titles and the Never title? I really don't see. Here's the thing: is there's a lot of speculation going on now, and a lot of it is about Sonata and Okada. Actually, I saw a really great article on VoicesOfWrestling.com today, and I tweeted it out on I believe it was the Tommy Stryker account account. So I definitely tweeted it there. And just go to,
Where I found it.
I'm sure it's, if you go to Voices of Wrestling, I'm sure it'll be easy enough to find. But this guy talking about the history of how New Japan has not been shy to switch the championship at the New Beginning show. As a matter of fact, it was a young Kazuchika Okada who took the champion from longtime ace Hiroshi Tanahashi back in, I think he said 2012, it might have been, or it might have even been before that. But that was a big New Beginning show where, a young and up and coming wrestler who didn't seem ready for the spot rose up and got that title. So there's a history there in New Japan with this kind of thing. So that's definitely a possibility that's been brought up here with Sonata.
Well, plus that article, too, pointed out stuff, too, like Sonata was involved with his match between Naito in their first championship match. So it's like, I had no idea about that.
The first time Naito won the IWGP Championship was against Okada, and it was when Sonata made his debut into Los Ingobernables. It was his interference that got Naito the win there. So that's certainly all in play here. Of course, the possibility of Los Ingobernables skullduggery is in play, even though we have not seen. I mean, we haven't even seen Suzuki Gun skullduggery on a main event level in a long time here. So big main event match potential for skullduggery here is absolutely in play, and certainly a possibility of Sonata getting the win here.
Yeah, check out that article.
All right, well, let's run through this card here for the 10th and do some official predictions, shall we? Do I have my predictions button here? Of course. Predictions! All right, so the opening match for the 10th coming up this weekend, Yuji Nagata takes on Katsuya Kitamura in his best of 7 series. I'm looking forward to this match.
Yeah,
this one should
that's a banger to start off with.
Yeah, Nagata has been putting on really great matches. He had a great G1 last year, even though lost all of his matches. Or did he win that last one? No, he lost to Fale, didn't he? Lost all of his matches in the G1, but put on great matches. I'm predicting a Yuji Nagata win here as well, but should be a very good match.
Yeah, definitely Nagata.
Agreed.
Second match, Sho and Yo Roppongi 3K taking on El Desperado and Yoshinobu Kanemaru has not been announced as a title match as of yet. And since it's a non-title at this time, I'll predict El Despi and Yoshinobu Kanemaru getting the win with the skullduggery whiskey bottle in play. That's Yoshinobu's favorite prop. Taka, what do you think? Predictions.
It's non-title. I side with you then.
Here's the thing: I don't know if it on the website in front of me it's non-title, but they're notorious for not updating this. If it's a title match, I'm saying Sho and Yo retain.
Yeah, I was to say I want these guys to have a little run with that, those championships,
especially after just hot potatoing it between them and the Young Bucks more recently. So, okay,
yep. I'm agreeing.
Sho and Yo, baby. That's who's going to win. Fuck you both.
All right, big 8-man tag here. Taguchi, Kushida, Elgin, and Makabe taking on Taka Michinoku, Taichi, Takashi Iizuka, and of course Suzuki. So again, the story here between Makabe and Suzuki here. It doesn't really matter who wins. It's probably going to be Suzuki with the tactics and the bullshit. But any other predictions for this one? Predictions.
Fucking Suzuki, man.
Second.
Let's hope for some Iizuka Iron Claw on Michael Elgin action.
It'll definitely be bullshit, but yeah, we're gonna have a good Suzuki moment at the end of the match there.
Six-man tag action. Toa Henare, David Finlay, and Juice Robinson.
It'd be awesome if you fucking scalped Elgin in the middle of the ring.
So I don't know how these points work.
That was not the right button. Anyway,
you were close.
Bullshit continues.
Where were we? Henare, Finlay, and Robinson taking on Yano, Ishii, and Jay White. So, interesting little matchup here with the Jay White-Finlay story going on, but Juice kind of vying for his spot going after that U.S. title. So, prediction here, I'm going to predict a big win for Juice Robinson. How about Juice Robinson getting a little win over Jay White? Let's see a pinfall here.
Yeah?
Or is it a little too early? Do we need to keep Jay White strong with the crucifix elbows? Probably, but I want to see a little Juice upset here. What do you guys think? Predictions.
I was leaning on the Jay White pinning Finley to finally shut him up. Because like I said, he had that little promo. He's like, I'm still coming, blah, blah, blah. And
sure.
like, yeah, sure you
and
are,
it certainly
dude.
could be a Yano over Hanare thing, too.
Easily.
Oh, yeah, I'm going Yano just because. Like, Yano's the man.
All right, then a special singles match, Gato taking on not Ibushi, Gato taking on Bushi. This is the beginning of the Los Ingobernables versus Chaos main events on this card. I'm going to say Bushi gets the win and then challenges the winner of Ospreay and Hiromu Takahashi. Predictions!
Yeah, Gato has nothing to achieve out of this except for a mask. Like, kind of pointless, but yeah,
right.
I mean, Bushi needs like a good win. He needs something right now.
Gato wrestles?
Yoshihashi special singles match versus Tetsuya Naito. Naito's really been talking a lot of shit here, and it makes you wonder: do they go with Yo? I mean, here's the thing: I don't think Sonata is going to win. I don't think Evil is going to win. But those are both possibilities. But if they don't book an upset there, do they book Yoshihashi upsetting Tetsuya Naito? Tetsuya Naito coming off this hot run, coming off this excruciating... So many fans cried and wept and were excruciatingly in pain after he lost the Tokyo Dome main event to Kazuchika Okada. It was supposed to be Naito's big moment. Does Naito turn around and lose to Yoshi frickin' Hashi? I don't think so. I'm predicting Naito gets the win. Anything different there?
I am going to disagree, as painful as it says. I see Naito taking a loss here and just casually going to the back and going to the press conference and being...
And just not giving a fuck about it?
That was embarrassing. Anyways...
That can certainly happen.
I see that happening.
That's a Naito move.
Him taking the loss and be like, he'd still be like, yeah, he should probably go on another excursion. That'd be insane. All right, then the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship match. Will Ospreay eating fried chicken versus Hiromu Takahashi, the ticking time bomb. I'm predicting Will Ospreay getting the win here. And then Bushi coming out challenging him for the IWGP Junior title here. We need to see a nice long run with this junior title. Ospreay won it back in was it Power Struggle or King of Pro Wrestling, one of those two. Then lost it right away to Marty Scurll in the rematch. Got it back at Wrestle Kingdom. Now let's see a nice long run with this IWGP Junior title. Let's have Will Ospreay win so he can go to New Zealand and have that big meal that he was talking about that the British celebrate with. Any other predictions on that one?
I'm going to Hiromu.
Yeah, I'm actually going Hiromu on this one. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
He's had such a good run recently. I'm a very casual follower when it comes to New Japan. Even I've been watching a lot of the stuff that's been online, his promos and everything like that. I think his build-up, it's just a good reason to give him the belt.
I just think that Ospreay is going to go on tour with Fozzy soon, so...
Ospreay's a cat, too, by the way.
He is. He's a little kitty cat. All right, then the Never Openweight Championship match. Hiroki Goto taking on the King of Darkness, Evil.
Everything is evil.
I'm predicting a Goto retention here, even though I'd like to see that Never title on Evil. I think he'd have a fun run with that Never title. But
I just think he needs a title, a singles title. I think he deserves a run. Again, he got a win over Okada in the G1, didn't he?
Yep, and then he had the rematch, lost the rematch, but had a really good match. Evil had a phenomenal G1 last year. So like everybody was expecting a big G1 from Sonata, but it was Evil who had the really great G1. So are you guys predicting the Evil taking
I'm
it
going
here?
Evil on this route because I agree with you guys. He needs a little something, and Goto, the hair versus hair match, I was like, I don't get it. And the whole samurai thing behind his hair, I was like, okay, I get it now. And, I hope this is a good run for him on that championship. He needs to stick out too a little bit at the moment. But after that loss, it's kind of like, he lost my faith in him right away. And it's just like, how do you have Evil not win this? He pinned Okada, before he just pinned Goto in the match. So it's just like, put it on him, man. Chaos is cocky right now. Let's bring him down a few notches.
All right, then the big main event: Kazuchika Okada challenging Sonata challenging Okada rather for the IWGP Heavyweight title. I can't see it happening. I love the article. I love speculating. I'm going to get into it. I'm going to get into the near falls. I just can't see Sonata doing it. I will be surprised, probably happily surprised, but the thing is I've just become a huge Okada mark too. Like I'm into it, man. He is the ace. He is the champ.
You.
He's as good as they say he is. He's great. And so when his music comes on, I pop for it. I get the little shivers.
Yeah.
Like I love that fucking coin dropping bullshit. So I'm into it. I think Okada retains here. I think Okada's going to hold that thing all the way till at least Dominion. But your thoughts, guys? Predictions.
I'm going to go Sonata. I just want to see it. I'm pretty much every heavyweight championship match that Okada has, I'm picking the other person because sooner or later I got to be right.
Taco?
Going back to that article, it brought up so many good points on Sonata that I just over my head, especially not, being deep into New Japan until the last couple of years now.
Yep.
So it's just like it made such a really good convincing case that Sonata should throw the strap on him, so it's like before I kind of looked at it like the Evil and the Okada match was like, yeah, this was cool. He got the pinfall, but it's not happening. That article was so well written. That's like, I want Sonata to win this, but I don't see him winning it. I'm with you. It would be just such a pop, and I would just love to see that moment of him kind of strolling past Naito, like, smile.
How interesting does that become? If Sonata wins that title, defeats Okada, what does Naito do?
Fights him. He ain't afraid to.
That just makes it very, very interesting. So, all right, let's move along and talk we'll talk this week's Ring of Honor TV. It almost feels anticlimactic to talk about Ring of Honor TV after predicting big championship matches.
Especially because we started with Honor Club.
Yeah.
All right, but I feel
fuck it, too late.
Again, it's a podcast, right? So why bury the big stuff? I mean, if people want to skip the Ring of Honor TV stuff,
the hardcore fans stick around for Ring of Honor TV. The hardcore fans are going to stick around to Ring of Honor discussion.
Well, right. But anyway, who cares?
Moving on.
Fun show this week. I liked they finally got out of the 2300 arena.
Yep.
And they were in the Nashville Municipal Auditorium, the biggest crowd they've ever had in Nashville.
Oh.
I liked the look of the building. It looked
good size.
Felt big time. I like they had more space around the ring.
Yeah.
What was it on Twitter? Hangman Page put out there was a gif of him doing that moonsault where he busted both of his big toes on the railing, and that was the first I'd heard that he actually broke his toes on the railing. And I put out a snarky ass tweet talking about like, hey, maybe Ring of Honor maybe it's time to lay down a mandate that big dive should only happen on because usually Ring of Honor will have like at least one side of the ring with like extra padding and extra space, whereas at the 2300 I don't think they have that extra room anywhere. So it was, like I said, there was a snarky-ass fucking tweet I sent out. I almost regretted sending it because I just don't like to be that negative. But, I mean, let's not do big-ass fucking moonsaults where there's not a lot of room on the outside of the ring.
That's a good point. Like, hey, man, look how just fucking, 3 guys you can list right off the bat that almost fuck their careers up.
Matt Taven busted his knee. TK O'Ryan busted his leg. And now, Hangman Page busting his toes.
We want to see these moves are cool and everything, but I also want to see a dude smashing his fucking leg on the grate like that.
And here's the thing, too. Absolutely no disrespect to Hangman Page and those. I love that these guys put their bodies on the line for our entertainment like that. I don't want to see the stop of big giant dives. I'm just saying, let's not do it into the goddamn guardrail.
It wasn't like it wasn't bad smirk. No worries.
Yeah, and it was one of those things too where he just barely clipped his toes on that damn railing.
It was how he fucking screamed, though, man. That was
he busted
scary.
I didn't realize that he busted his fucking toe.
No,
he had to take it in for a second and be like, "All right, I can finish."
Yeah, I can finish the match. That was amazing.
Well, even like when TK O'Ryan screamed like that when he fucking shattered his shin.
No, he fucking wiggled it.
So, yeah, it was great to see Ring of Honor in a bigger building where they get more space at ringside, because Ring of Honor, of course, is notorious for all the big dives and all the stuff that they do outside of the ring. So
they're growing too, man.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is maybe at this point they have hopefully outgrown that small. I mean, yeah, it has the nostalgia value being the old ECW arena, but it's such a small building, and I'd really like to see, especially in a place like Philadelphia, you'd think Ring of Honor could fill a much bigger space, especially if they can fill a big building in Nashville. You think they could do the same thing in Philadelphia. So, fun show this week. The Best Friends took on the Motor City Machine Guns for a tag team title match out of nowhere. It just came out of nowhere. And the finish came out of nowhere, too. The Briscoes came out and attacked everybody, causing the big DQ. The Briscoes demand that tag team title match. And I like the commentary saying, hey, you're the Briscoes. Why not just ask for a tag team title match? Yep. You deserve one. You don't need to come out here and act like the fucking Addiction and ruin everything that everybody loves. But yeah, Briscoes continuing to be the dastardly heels. They zip tie Alex Shelley to the ropes, which looked goofy because Alex Shelley was conveniently hanging onto the ropes so that they could zip tie him. And then they hit the J Driller to Sabin on the chair in the ring.
Made him watch.
Yeah, so awful, so
nasty.
So never going to be able to get that out of his head.
We're going to get the Beer City Bruiser and Brian Malonis their tag team debut next week against the
Coast to Coast.
The Coast to Coast, who just got their first big win versus War Machine. So, is this the continuation of the Coast to Coast push, or does Beer City Bruiser and Brian Malonis bring out the skullduggery? Perhaps there's a Silas Young involvement, perhaps a DQ, and we get a
DQ action.
I think they continue this one all the way up to the 16th anniversary pay-per-view. Again, we go spoiler free on this show, so those of you that look ahead and know everything that happened, good for you.
Wait, this isn't live?
So there's that. We got a nice Punishment Martinez speaking promo. I know you got some thoughts on this one, Taco.
Yeah, no, it's just this was the first time he really stuck out to me. I know some people are kind of higher on him on the internet out there, and you know he's definitely improved after that horrible fucking storyline he was involved with.
Yeah, when they had him out with Kevin Sullivan.
Yeah,
that
was bad.
Let's give some credit to Ring of Honor that they abandoned that thing very early.
Quick, and I know he just goofy looking cat, not like just the paint and some of the outfits he was wearing, and this was the first time he actually looked solid in his image, and just that voice just bellowing out of his mouth. I was like, holy shit, there's something creepy there, and that's money what he has right there. And he's someone like with a voice like that, and he's not hasn't been the best on the mic. He's still coming up and everything, but he's someone that keep him limited on the mic, so when he does speak and with that voice, you're gonna fucking listen to what he says.
Yeah, and I don't think he's been bad on the mic. I think they've protected him well, though. My only gripe has been kind of like he's the Ring of Honor Undertaker. He's the indie taker, for lack of a better term. And so that to me has been a little bit cheesy, but I liked this approach this week because it was kind of him in a sit-down setting. It was taken a little more seriously. Yeah, there was kind of the dark imagery stuff and some of the sappy lines in there, but there was enough in there where he was, talking about how he won Survival of the Fittest and how he wants to challenge Dalton Castle. So that much was enough for me to be like, okay, that's cool. And, he does the incredible stuff in the ring with the big dives over the post, doing the big athletic stuff for a big man, which is necessary in today's pro wrestling, especially at the Ring of Honor level.
Well, and I think he's really improved. I haven't talked about him much, but like just the few instances I've seen, again, the big dives, he's getting better with those kicks. He was a martial artist before, obviously, with that promo in some sense, but like he's starting to land things better. He's starting to look more polished in the ring. And again, a championship match, whether he wins or loses, it gets his name up there.
Absolutely. So speaking of Punishment Martinez, Shane Taylor took on Marty Scurll. Pretty good mid-show match here between these two.
I had a lot of fun with this one.
Yeah. Scurll got the win with the powder to the face after the ref gets rid of his
How
umbrella.
does the ref
Whitney
not
Houston.
see the giant cloud of powder, or the fact that Shane Taylor's just got a bunch of white shit on his face?
Hey, now Marty Scurll did his best to cover up Shane Taylor's face so the referee didn't see him as he went for the pinfall. I'll give him that. But yeah, it was pretty fucking ridiculous, the cloud of powder that was going on.
Maybe he was doing coke.
Scurll got a big near fall in the match with a suplex. I thought that was impressive.
Right.
Suplexing Mr. Taylor. Then the story is, after the match, Scurll calls out Punishment Martinez. He wants the first shot at the title after he beats Dalton Castle next week. And then Punishment Martinez, of course, unleashes his fury onto Marty Scurll. So did you have something you wanted to add to that?
No, Taco's going to. I just let him know the pizza guy was here.
Okay, good deal. So after, like I said, so we're going to get the big title match between Dalton Castle and Punishment Martinez next week. And that's another interesting thing here, too, in that, Punishment Martinez is really the opposite kind of character of what Dalton Castle is.
Yeah, especially in the same sense that Dalton Castle has that flamboyant, attitude. Like Taco said, Punishment Martinez, he embraces what he looks like. He's a big, tall, creepy looking dude, and you had a little makeup and a little bit of that attitude, and you've got the perfect, good versus evil match.
Right, and they're both gimmick guys. Nobody's like a straight up wrestler gimmick or whatever. They both, Dalton Castle, the flamboyant gimmick, Martinez with the the indie taker gimmick.
You honey dicked me.
I'm sorry, I heard noise.
But
Sonid.
Taco's back, everybody. But yeah, I like the dichotomy between those two, and that should make for an interesting title match next week. Even though pretty predictable, I think Dalton Castle's probably going to retain. Even though I haven't looked at spoilers, even though it's a TV taping, and I'm sure we would have heard about it.
I'm pretty sure if it happened, one of us would have been spoiled by now.
Bully Ray came back and won.
Other stuff next week. The Women of Honor tournament is going to be starting up, so
Nice.
I've been looking forward to seeing how that plays out. I'm looking forward to seeing how those matches look coming up next week. Big main event from this week: Matt Taven versus Cody. They did a good job building this up with Taven getting in Cody's face a couple of weeks back. Cody making him kiss the ring, and then Taven kicking him in the balls. And that kind of came into play in the finish of this match as well. How do you guys feel about the way Cody was kind of presented in this match? Being that he's so over with the Ring of Honor crowd, but he's such a great heel in New Japan. In my eyes, in my fandom, my little world, he's still a heel, but he was presented as the baby face that we were supposed to have sympathy for in the match, with the Kingdom running wild on him. Vinny Marseglia out there at ringside with an actual axe,
Yes, people, an actual axe.
So all of that going on, it actually kind of made me like the Kingdom a little bit more, because I've been getting into the Kingdom more and more recently. But how do you guys feel about Cody in this role? And is Ring of Honor doing the smart thing here with kind of putting Cody in that sympathetic role versus the Kingdom, with all the stuff New Japan going on, with Kenny being the sympathetic figure? And I also liked, and I'm throwing a ton of shit out here too, that the fact that Cody was out there alone, no Bullet Club out there backing him up, which was interesting, I thought. But of course, coming off what happened in Japan,
there's
made
no
sense.
Kenny Omega out here. Yeah, no shit. He's in Japan, dude.
Well, no Young Bucks. The crowd was chanting for the Young Bucks, so that was.
I think that was the biggest thing. Like you said, crap, I lost my train of thought already right there.
Well, Cody, no Bullet Club. Cody being a sympathetic figure.
I think that's the biggest thing, is just that I think it plays into all this stuff with the being the elite storyline, showing where technically the Bullet Club is standing right now. They're not standing behind Cody Rhodes, and he's kind of changing his attitude. I also think what played into it a little bit was the fact that they were in Nashville and that he was going to be over no matter what, in that role. It just seems like that was his area. It was his character. Everybody loved him. There's no way around it.
Well, in a Ring of Honor show taped a few weeks ago, or a couple of weeks ago anyway, Cody is going to be more over than Matt Taven in the Kingdom at a Ring of Honor show anyway. But I do like how it was painfully obvious that the Bullet Club wasn't coming out to help him. Talk about this, the latest. Did you have anything to add there? Talk about it.
Yeah, no, it's It was just, it's so perfect. Oh, fuck, where was I going with this now? No, it was good that they put him in that the baby face role and put the obviously Matt Taven in the heel role, because Bullet Club are just so fucking over right now.
Right.
And first off, Cody has never fucking changed. He has always been a slimy piece of shit since he went into the indies and just started just running train with his list and started going through everything. He's always been Cody. He's always been the same guy. And then he got brought into the Bullet Club. He's never been different. He's still the same person. It's just his true colors are finally being realized, where it's just like, dude, this guy's kind of a piece of shit right now. It's just he has that Bullet Club heat on him right now, so people are going to go fucking nuts. So perfect opportunity to use that heat to get some more heat onto the Kingdom themselves, and let this Bullet Club, Ring of Honor, New Japan kind of saga kind of go its own way. And Matt Taven definitely needs a big win over Cody Rhodes in the long run out of this one to really look good, because Cody, he has excuses. I don't have the Bucks. I don't have Skrull. Where the fuck are it? He has that excuse to go back on, to show everyone, like, dude, you needed these guys. Now you're falling apart a little bit, and he's really going to stick out as the true villain out of this whole thing.
It will be interesting to see where they go with this Taven and the Kingdom thing, because it was Cody that got the win after he got his revenge low blow and then rolled him up.
Because it's all a conspiracy.
And then,
It is a Kingdom conspiracy.
But then after the match, the Kingdom attacked Cody. They kicked him in the nuts again, and this time Taven stole the Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
So,
Vinny cut it off with his axe.
He cut it off with his actual axe, then cut off his legs. He dismembered Cody with his actual axe. That didn't happen.
Yeah, it was murder.
But yeah, basic murder on television. It's interesting to see where this whole thing goes. Talk about being the elite. This last week was Cody's heelish persona in all of its glory. It was him taking over being the elite, and him and Brandy going on a ski resort vacation in the mountains. And so they were enjoying themselves on vacation, where the rest of the Bullet Club was mourning and being sad, and Marty Scurll singing, "Why'd you have to go and make things so complicated?" and, and all of that going on. And then, of course, at the end was the big announcement that this is talk about burying the lead. The very end of being the elite was Nick Jackson having a vision, a premonition of what's to come at Supercard of Honor, and it was him seeing this vision of Ian Riccaboni and Colt Cabana introducing Kenny Omega versus Cody at Supercard of Honor. So that being another, I can't believe we didn't talk about that yet, but talk about burying. Well, that thing happened like a week ago, so it's like I forgot that we hadn't
There's
talked
so many
about
branches that come out of this Bullet Club thing right now. It's just like you gotta get him to be the heel in this, and they're doing it.
Yeah. So, so the announcement of that, another big get for this Honor Club thing potentially. So I like that. So that's an obvious direction that with the Bullet Club clashing with each other is going. So that'll be very interesting going forward. All right, Taco is going to get our pizza for real this time. So we got to wrap this thing up. We got to get out of here, and the only way that we know how to get out of here is with the Kojima tweet.
Now it's time for the Satoshi Kojima Tweet of the Week.
Follow Kojima on Twitter at Cozy_Lariat. Now, don't forget, Kojima is dealing with a knee injury. He is out of action, so we all are showing our support for poor Kojima. But he's still out there tweeting in English for us to enjoy on a not necessarily daily basis, but every few days.
A regular
gives
basis.
us a nice little gem. And now, here is this week's. Hello. Even today, knees are bad, but others are okay. I also eat bread, because I am a bread club. So follow this show on Twitter at Strong Honor. Follow me on Twitter at Tommy Stryker, spell Stryker with a Y. Go on Facebook, facebook.com/Strong Honor Podcast. If you like us talking about wrestling, check out our other podcast, The Best Pro Wrestling Podcast. That's bestprowrestlingpodcast.com. You can find this podcast, that podcast, all of your best podcasts there. Again, bestprowrestlingpodcast.com. Taco, where can people find you?
Ooh, none on this podcast at the end. That's for damn sure.
In and out all day.
You can follow me on Twitter at HGREV Taco.
You can follow me, Joe, at JoeBP. That's at Joe, Best Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Thanks for checking out the show. Make sure to rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcasts. Bye. Peace.
My botch